Welcome to The Apprentice, You're Fired. Just 2 weeks to go in this year's battle to be Lord Sugar's business partner. Tonight, we'll be casting an eye over the 5 who are still in with a chance of securing his £250,000 investment and saying goodbye to Mr Monaco. This is turning out to be an extraordinary series of The Apprentice. In week 8, we had the first abdication of a project manager. Last week, our first Welsh candidate bowed out. And most extraordinary of all, this week, the ladies' team won a task. We never thought we'd see the day. Let's meet our panel who can hardly contain themselves. Retail entrepreneur Sarah Curran, Paralympian Ade Adepitan and comedian Hugh Dennis. Welcome to You're Fired. Tonight's task of starting a retail business from scratch led to one candidate being scratched from Lord Sugar's plans.
Miles, I'm not sure what your expertise is, and this is simply from a gut feeling. I'm not sure in you either. And for that reason, I have to say that, Miles, you're fired.
Thank you very much, guys. I've learned a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, please... Actually, do you know what? I kind of find slightly intimidating. Hang on one second. There's something I want to do. Hang on, sorry. Please welcome... Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miles Mordaunt. Miles, like the way my tie goes underneath my ripped and then comes out the other end of my ripped. It's quite a look. You're looking very suave, by the way. You're looking very tailored.
Thank you
as
very
ever,
much.
by the way. You've brought a style and a panache and a general good tailoring to the show, which we often can't rely on.
I think I saw a few comments. I think Dapper Undertaker was one, and the bloke who's just popped out for a fag at a wedding a few times. But
That's probably a good thing, yeah. It is a surprise for many, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm just going to get rid of this. I wish it was so easy to get. It is a surprise for many of us, in some ways, that you're here.
I mean, I'm gutted. You know, I think I enjoyed the process. I tried to keep my head low at the start and go through and just, you know, be myself. I tried to be positive energy the whole way through, and I think that surprised to go out, I guess. I really wanted to try and be in final 5. It's almost, as a candidate, you feel like you've fallen at the kind of the last hurdle.
Yeah.
I think there was a real momentum behind wanting to get into that final 5. It's really symbolic.
OK, I say it's a surprise, and it was for many people we've spoken to, that you didn't make the final 5. Not a surprise, by example, if you watched the episode. Not a surprise in any way.
I wouldn't limit it to just that episode. You could probably go back the week before.
No,
as well.
but specifically, I have to say, this week, man, within 5 minutes, one of the men was going home. That was fairly... that was pretty clear. Let's relive your performance on this task.
Have you guys made a decision?
Miles? If we get something that doesn't sell, we've had it.
The ceramic notepad, definitely.
Yeah.
The butter dish,
These expensive, are they, what?
I'm saying to you, £11.50.
I think it's quite expensive.
How many items did you have on your stall?
What have we got? 16 items. Right.
3 blokes, 1 stall, 16 items.
Hello, mate. Some gift ideas in ceramic? Hello there. Bit of fun ceramic here. Don't really want to know, do they?
Supposed to have a depth of stock, otherwise you can't smell what sells.
One day only, London designers. Gift ideas. I don't think the shop looks brilliant, does it?
It looks awful.
I'm not sure whether you got the plot here about this particular task.
So, right from the start, you know, you were kind of playing catch-up a bit right from the start, because once you had 16 pieces of unusual... iconic, I believe is the term used, iconic ceramic on stage. And it just seemed from there on in, you were always losing.
By that stage in the process, I think, on reflection, you're carrying baggage. So I'm worrying about what Neil's thinking the whole time, because Neil had, you know, he's been fantastic throughout, and he's got brownie points with Lord Sugar, and you worry that when you're in the boardroom that he's going to listen to him. I think the other thing, you're also carrying baggage from other episodes, so if we choose a supplier here and it's too long to get back, and you start making all these decisions and becoming indecisive because you're worrying about too many other things. What you actually need to do is just crack on, follow your gut instincts and manage it like you would anything else. And I think that was my failure. I was trafficking too much in my head.
So it's not like the Monaco thing to have shops with nothing in them. That's like a cool Euro chic statement at the moment. Well, yes, we have a butter dish, so what? Maybe you want to buy the butter dish, maybe you don't want to buy the butter dish.
It's a very minimalist approach.
Very minimalist, I feel. That's you really erred on the side of minimalism in this particular task. Now, listen, you've said an online retailer, obviously, is what you are at the moment, Sarah, but you started as in terms of setting up your own boutique.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know retail from this.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think for me, it was quite obvious that you actually didn't have a strategy because you didn't really look at the marketplace where you were, price point, passing trade, and also there wasn't a real experience on your stall. So it wasn't very enticing to come to. But there were many moments of very itchy, scratchy. I really felt for you because I think you were at that point, you were just lost.
Yeah, I don't think I released my inner Dal boy in this one.
No. Some people have a natural audience, you know, that they're working with. Your natural audience, I feel, is on a yacht rather than in a market stall in the East End.
I think it's a fair comment. And actually, if you look back, I shouldn't have put myself forward as project manager on this.
Can I ask, why did you do that?
Do you know why, actually? And again, it comes back to where you are in the process. Neil had been project manager, I think, 3 times, Jordan twice. It was my natural time to do it.
Yeah.
And again, carrying the fear that you go into the boardroom and it turns into, why weren't you project manager? That's a stupid decision. That's not the right decision to have made.
But isn't the game to actually choose the right time for when to be the project manager? And I feel you hit the nail on the head where you say you were carrying baggage from the week before, where you made that mistake when Alex went out with the food and the skull and crossbones and stuff, and then you didn't trust your decisions. And what you should have done is, as you said, just think of the now and not what happened.
Jordan made the perfect comment. He would have been a perfect project manager, and Neil and I could focus on the other stuff. I think that would have been the best solution.
Well, I think you got wrong, though. I mean, there was something about the products and there was something about, the positioning and all the rest of it. What everybody always gets wrong, they don't look at Karen. She's there, she's another member of the team. If you turned round when you were buying things and you looked at Karen, you saw her going... Again, it's so much easier. You go, here's a butter dish. You quickly turn around, she's going...
We are getting to the stage of the process where the candidates' business ideas are coming to light, and Jordan's caused some confusion and surprise.
I'm not the software engineer, I'm the strategy, sales, marketing. It's not me alone. There is another person who...
So there's 3 of you in this partnership?
Yes, yeah. If and when an investment is made, then those discussions happen. But the honest truth is that...
What discussions happen?
Discussions about percentages and how it would split between me and my business.
No discussion here, mate. We get 50-50 shares.
I'm a safer investment than anyone else.
Safer investment? What bleeding world do you live in? A tech start business?
Lord Sugar, let me explain myself.
They're the most risky bloody investments on this planet.
Suddenly, Jordan is a mystery partner. You used to be sitting there going... I mean, we saw your eyes go, what's going on here?
It made it a bit strange in the boardroom, actually, because, I mean, it wasn't natural for me to probably get into catfights in those situations, but, I mean, I think week 9 was my first time in there, and it was all a bit of an eye-opener, and I don't know where that might have gone, but funnily enough, it sort of slightly took the steam out of it from our side, because we all thought, he's probably going to go here. That all sounds like Lord Sugar's just not going to touch it with a barge pole, so I must have been really bad that I went.
If it turns out, and presumably we'll find out more when they go in and do the business plans, if it turns out and say, who is his partner, and Jordan rustles under the table and brings about a glove puppet of himself, and go, it's little Jordan. What's that, little Jordan? What's that? You want to go into business? Oh, I think we'll go into business, little Jordan, you and me, whatever. Or his dog, or a twin, a female twin, or something really, really weird. That would be no less surprising than suddenly presenting them at this point. I mean, this is a bit of a shock.
I mean, that would be one big shock. And in fairness, he should have just kept quiet.
Or he could have almost died in the boardroom, which is the other thing he tried to do.
I thought he kept his secret business partner inside him and he was just going to come out. That was it. I'm coming out. Save me, save me. I want the money.
What if it actually is Peter Andre? That'd be terrifying.
It's a hell of a twist we built up to this. He comes in singing insanely in the middle of the interviews.
He was actually going to be sick, was he, as opposed to coughing?
I don't know, maybe he's trying to suppress a cough that then became like a vomit, or it was one of these kind of weird things. It was the worst time. It was like the finger was already up, and then he's like,
So you know what to do next time, don't you? Next time, if Alan Sugar's nearly pointing the finger at you, you start...
You carry on, Alan Sugar. Oh, I've made a quick recovery. That's great. I'm back in the game.
I'm a conspiracy theorist either, but do you think there's something in the fact that the two remaining men have both got beards a bit like Alan Sugar?
I know you have to go back to all of the people who've won it to find out how many of them had beards a bit like Alan Sugar's and to what extent that subconsciously works.
I recognise myself in you. Yeah.
So you're saying the women have no chance?
Well, I think possibly one of them should grow a beard.
She arrives in with a what? I've always had this. I'm just a magician with makeup. Before Lord Sugar got to Neil's business plan, there was one lingering doubt he wanted to address.
Neil, can I ask you a question? You're one-trick pony as far as sales?
My main skill, Lord Sugar, lies in sales. I'm not shying away from that. But I've had a record-breaking task when I've led a team and proved that I can do different things. And I also believe I've got a business plan that will bring us a fruitful return.
What is that business plan?
It's an online estate agency business, which I've actually researched now for a year and a half. The competitor that I'm going up against made £80 million profit last year. I know that I've got a plan that can compete with that and also will actually...
It has to be a bloody good plan,
Listen,
Neil.
Lord Sugar, I take that on board, but I believe that I would be the perfect partner for you, Lord Sugar.
What we missed there was a bit where he went innovation, creation, operation.
I thought he was going to go to a nursery. I thought he was going to go ippodipidation at the end of
It would be nice if everybody just stood back and go, let's see how many he has. Action, reaction.
Meanwhile, Jordan's sitting beside him going, medication!
Without knowing too much of the details, how does Neil's business plan sound?
Well, you know, everyone thinks when you go online, suddenly millions of people are going to find your website, and it's just simply not the case. So without really knowing the sort of detail behind his plan, the thing with Neil is that he's quite a steady guy. There's something about his mannerism and the way he works that I do like. Doesn't sort of tend to sort of, you know, not great sparks, but, you know, he's consistent.
He's a man of the people, like, he's very good at engaging with people, sort of general public or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
People warm to him, they take to him, and I think, yeah, we always had this joke. I mean, I was a bit like the sort of overdressed tosser trying to sell a caravan, and Neil's there, sort of fully supplied, teachered up, but very good with people, and they do take to him.
But that's such an essential skill in
Absolutely.
business. You know, that's a very important skill.
Absolutely, and I think...
Even in an online business, or are you putting yourself at a disadvantage?
Well, sometimes even more so, because, you know, you are virtual, but then your customer's virtual. You have to find another way of connecting with them and creating a reason for them to come to your site.
Neil, has Neil impressed you?
Yeah, I think he has. He's a hardcore salesman. He's a top business guy. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to play Monopoly against him, you know, because every week he's telling everybody about how much he sells and how much he buys. He would just grind you into the ground. But, you know, he has got those communication skills. He's got a balance between being able to sell and he kind of warms to people as well.
Yeah.
He delivers quite a good mission statement on behalf of Neil Clough. I mean, he has almost a Neil Clough house style to a certain extent. That's what Neil Clough does. Neil Clough does that. He delivers, I was asked to do that, and I did it, and that's what Neil Clough does. And essentially how he's delivered all those things. All throughout the show, there's a bit where Neil Clough
tells you. And
he's
backed himself the whole way, but you can't knock him because he's delivered. So.
Through all the discussion of things that have worked or didn't work, there's one thing we can't take from you, which is that you are ripped. You are ripped, Miles. Let's have another look at you.
Miles is incredibly fit. I thought if you see him in the gym downstairs, blinking heck, it's ridiculous.
Mr. Monaco seems to like to show off his abs quite a lot.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy.
Mr. Six-Pack, he is in good shape. But
I'm too sexy for Milan.
To
you call him Mr. Baby Oil?
I didn't think bodies like that existed, bloody hell. Well, it cost me to shame, I'll tell you that now.
Listen, enjoy it. For God's sake, you're in Basco. What are you? Are you 39 now?
I'm 40 now.
You're 40 now,
Yeah,
because I'm 41. The next year is really tough. So just get the benefit out of it now, you know, because when it goes, it surprises you.
Very quick. It turns quickly.
It just turns like that. Yeah. Literally, you go, happy. That was great while it lasted. It's quite impressive, you know. I mean, a Paralympian, a bronze medal winning Paralympic athlete.
You're in good shape, Miles. You're in good shape. Your training regime must be pretty hardcore, and you look like a modern day Simon Templar, man. You should be getting into the movies.
I mean, I like the one on the wheel. I'm particularly impressed with. I can do the initial bit down, but then you're down, and then you're holding a wheel, and you're going, "This is not going to go anywhere." Why don't I climb back up again and we'll start? Oh no, here we go again. I seem to have found myself back down here. Like, you know, that's impressive.
There's a terrifying thing in that particular exercise that somebody's just going to take your legs and kind of wheel you around like a wheel.
That would be very good. Well, you're not expecting it. No, stop. All right, good. In this process earlier on, by the way, you did seem very in control, very competent, very assured about the whole thing. It's sort of, not that it ran out of steam per se, but mistakes began. I mean, you could go back to task 7 on the caravan. You spent a very pleasant hour and a half talking to one old man about caravans who asked you every question. That's time you'll never get back. Can I bring you on to this then? Because you are a parent.
A bad one, apparently.
It wasn't implied that you're a bad parent.
I think it was clearly implied by Alex I was.
Yeah. This, looking back...
I think that the demographic we were after, we were pitching for people that did want to kill their kids. But I think, honestly, you're not going to believe this, but when we were looking at that, they're smiling skulls.
Would you have, Daddy Dennis, what did you think of it?
Listen, I can understand what you were trying to do. You were trying to appeal to the kids, and then, you know, that pester sort of influence. I just think there was a line, and you just kind of went over it. And the two skulls, kind of, as a mum, you know, your instinct is warning. Like, skull,
I understand
no.
that. Look, I think pester power is a massive thing, but we needed to tie that up with a sensible branding.
See, it all makes me feel terrible as a parent, because I would have bought it. It's great. They're going to love that.
OK, Miles, brace yourself as we hear what Lord Sugar and your former colleagues have to say about you.
Alarm bells started to ring last week in the ready meals task when Miles targeted the wrong type of customer. However, this week, as project manager, he completely lost the plot by not stocking the stall and the shop properly.
I think Miles is a great guy, but sadly I think it was really weak project management from him right from the start.
I was actually quite surprised by Miles's project manager, that he was a bit indecisive.
This task was designed to show me who can build a business from scratch, taking things back to basics. Miles wasn't able to do that, and that's why he had to go.
Are they fair comments?
Oh, I think definitely on this task for sure. Yeah. I mean, building a business from a market stall, I think we've established I'm not the bloke.
No, that's fair enough.
But I guess I have built businesses from scratch before, but no, I mean, I take away lots of things from that, and I think there were fairly nice comments, to be fair, considering what they could have said. I mean, you know, I think I did get on well with them, and I think there was respect amongst the stall, so yeah, I think it was fair.
OK, now let's bask in the triumph of Louisa, Francesca and Leah.
We have so totally something to prove to those stupid boys. Do we go for fashion? Yeah. Go for quantity. Yeah. Stack them high, sell it cheap.
She made sure she had a real mug's eye full of stuff on that store.
We have got some great items for you.
Thank you. We may as well invest the money that we've got into more stocks.
Smell what sells.
Get the black and white headbands.
Yeah, go.
5 of these. And 4 of these. Nice look, isn't it?
And a great price.
£5. £20. I know you're on the job, but we've got berries for £5.
She is a retailer, and she's doing well. Total assets, £809.
Finally, Darwin.
Very well done on this task.
Final 5 and 3
I know.
are women.
It was an impressive performance. I mean, and even selling to the police, when obviously the thing the police need is a wipe-clean ceramic notepad.
Marigold, I feel.
The marigold. They could slap somebody with a marigold to challenge them and then write down their response onto the white.
At least they acknowledged her. They walked past us and blanked us.
Well, they checked you out because they thought it was kind of a creepy thing that you were dragging people into the back of an empty box. No wonder the cops are hovering around you for the length of it. It was an impressive performance.
Yeah, I think what was great is, you know, they took a risk when they had the shop, went out, bought a high-priced item, the dresses, didn't sell, but then went back and just kept on buying volume of what was selling. I think they had a great strategy. They worked really well as a team. But, you know, they had one thing in common, which was, you know, fashion and hats, and it was,
Yeah, they absolutely understood what they were selling, didn't they?
Yes.
And also knew exactly what their strengths were, because it is very... If somebody puts on a hat, you can generally go, oh, you look great. If somebody's got a white, clean ceramic board, it's very difficult, isn't it? Well, how can you compliment someone on that? You can't. So they used
did you consider dressing? Because they wore the leggings, they wore the dresses, and they wore the hats. And sometimes they were wearing a pair of leggings under the dress with a hat on, right?
They were living the brand.
They were just, they were all about the brand. At no point did you drape candles over yourself and go, buy this, onto a white, clean thing that you dangled off your chest. I'm just saying you missed an obvious opportunity.
Where we went wrong.
Yeah, it is. Clearly you missed the boat in that one. Louise was given a stern talking to last week. Has that had an effect?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's definitely evolved in the process, and I think she's got that combination of being a hard saleswoman, but also she can communicate, and I think that's what the biggest part of this whole process is, being able to communicate and to get the best out of the rest of your team. And it's nice to see that her and Francesca are getting on this week as well.
OK. Now, as we're nearing the end of Lord Sugar's search for his new business partner, we thought it'd be a good idea to find out what happened to last year's winner, Ricky Martin, who is with us tonight. Hello, Ricky. Lovely to see you again. How are you? Are you well?
I'm well, thanks. Yourself?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Ricky. No one asks. Very, very kind. I'm looking for a job in the science area, though. Can you get me anything?
I've got the perfect job for you. We're expanding.
Lovely stuff. Fantastic. As am I, constantly. Now, before we hear what you've been up to, let's take a look at a clip from your hard 2012 showing how you went on a bit of a journey yourself through the process.
Here you are now, in the final 4. Classifying yourself as Thor in the Nordic pantheon. Is that right?
His personal statement and application form is so absolutely laden with superlatives about himself. Best business partner on the planet. However, I read your business plan and I was quite impressed. It was interesting. I think it was well written, a cogent business plan, a sensible business plan.
He's the one that has changed the most through the process.
When I turned up to this process, I had a lot of bravado about me, and I'm a very different person now. I think I'm somebody who's channeled his whole career to the point we're at right now, sitting opposite you at this boardroom, ready to get my business started.
You and the £250,000 investment, it was set up a recruitment firm in the science sector. How is all that going?
It's been the busiest year of my life. The company's going well. I think the reality of the Apprentice is a great platform to get a new business started. Fantastic, but actually the hardship is when you've actually got the investment and you've got to go to market. You might have done well in a process, but actually the real world is a completely different thing. But the business is going very, very well. We've grown bigger than I expected. We've moved to a position now where we're profitable month on month. And actually I need another 3 members of staff from the science sector, so I'm looking. So, yeah, all good.
Well, you work in recruitment. You should be able to find it. Of all people, that seems like a basic test. If only there was another science recruitment company that we could call to get the people to work for my science recruitment company. And how hands-on is Lord Sugar?
He's relatively hands-on with the business. He gives me a lot of advice. In fact, he comes to me more saying, Ricky, what can I do more for the company, more than me going to him? So I'd say to anyone, he's a fantastic asset as a business person, and he's really helped me to kind of catapult my business probably 3-4 years quicker than I would have if I did it completely on myself.
And how many people have you... Well, firstly, how many people are you employing yourselves at the moment?
So I'm employing 7, so it's me and 7 others.
OK, and are you still wrestling?
No, I've given that up. It's gone. It's gone. Although I've got a space for Miles, so he can take over from me.
He would destroy you. Have you seen... Captain Monaco. Come in on a speedboat. You're fantastic in a Formula 1 car. It's brilliant. Listen, good luck with the work. Congratulations, Ricky Martin. This year, it's Francesca, Louisa, Leah, Jordan and Neil who will be fighting for Lord Sugar's £250,000 investment. So we asked Wimbledon fans who they'd like to see in the final.
I would like to see Leah in the final because she's very consistent and she's been doing all her work properly.
I think Leah's very clever.
Good brain.
Neil's probably been the standout candidate for me.
He's a good leader and he gets the job done.
I would really like to see Francesca in the final, I think. She's been quite good throughout. I think Louisa just for good competition.
She's got a lot of skill, she works the angle, she works the people very, very well.
I think Jordan's proved that he's a very good manager.
Go Jordan, woo! Yeah, Jordan. So we may conclude that Leah is a very good finalist and Neil should be the apprentice.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired!
Clearly, they should all be fired and just hire that small Indian kid. He's brilliant. How fantastic is he? If you want to know more about these candidates, there's a special programme called The Apprentice, The Final Five, which goes out next Monday night at 9 p.m. on BBC One. Back to you, Miles, however, because it's time for the vote. Sarah, do you think Lord Sugar was right to fire Miles?
Miles, I'm sorry to say it, but I do, on this occasion, think he made the right decision.
Ade?
Miles, you've got skills, great abs, but I think Lord Sugar made the right decision this week.
Hugh?
Miles, I love you. I think your name makes you sound like one of the Knights of the Round Table, which I particularly like. But I think he was right, yeah.
We're going to go to the audience. If you agree with Lord Sugar, hold up fired, but if you disagree, hold up hired. It is fired. My, you're cold and tough. As a crowd, yeah. Fired it is. Miles, we've been admiring you for 10 weeks and we wanted to give you something that reflected our belief in your innate class and also the fact that you live in Monaco amidst the Euro chic and the very finest of living. And we're going to go, what possible luxury good can you give the man who appears to have everything? And we racked our brains. So I think we did pretty well, actually, to be honest. I think he'd be quite proud. I think he'd be quite proud to walk around Monaco in a T-shirt that says, I went back to England to be on The Apprentice and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. And on the back it says, do you want to buy a caravan? And that's the Miles Mordaunt, you made it to the final six. Here are your highlights.
Don't stir that, though.
Miles is our bond.
Even on the beer task, he wanted the beers shaking instead. Miles has got the nickname of Mr. Monaco. Every time you ask him a question, he refers it back to, oh, we don't do that in Monaco.
Caravans are banned in Monaco.
Mr. Monaco.
Mr. Monaco.
I'm Miles. That's the response I was really hoping for.
He is calm, confident, charismatic, cool. He's hot.
Everyone has a good side, and until they prove it otherwise, it's a nice place to start. Made by our own fair hand with passion. We love the product, we really, really do think that. I don't mind making a fool of myself in front of anyone.
I really, really love the guy.
He's just a dream.
Have you won every single task?
Yes, I am the lucky charm. Very happy to be here with you.
Yes.
Listen, if it doesn't work out, I'm getting a market stall.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Mordaunt. And that's it from us for tonight. Thank you to all of my guests. Go to our website at bbc.co.uk/apprentice for Matt Edmondson's awkward conversations with the fired candidates. It's also where you'll find details on how to apply to be Lord Sugar's business partner in 2014. It's a fantastic opportunity for anyone with a great business idea who wants to be in with a chance for a £250,000 investment. So please give it a go. Next week, the final five face Lord Sugar's 4 inquisitors, but who'll be in the running for that ultimate partnership?
What would you do with this?
I have this ability inside me that I don't even at times know what to do with.
That's crap. I can't see it working like this. You can't turn over profit. This is disappointing. You should know that. What's your plan B?
Yeah, she was an idiot.
I may as well put that £250,000 into a slot machine.
It's a very bad idea.
Don't compare yourself to Lord Sugar.
It don't make sense.
It's just farcical.
I'd rather give birth again than do this.
You could leave now.
It's really, really good. Honestly, I can't wait till you see it. We'll see you at the same time next Wednesday. Good night.